Hi guys, you're welcome to the Whistleblower channel once again. My name is God's Will, and today I'll be showing you step by step how you can apply for your Canadian study permit for next year 2024, given the recent circumstances about the laws that have changed that concerns coming to study in Canada. So I'm making this video specifically for those who already have their admission letter or are about to apply to any school in Canada and would like to apply for their study permits as fast as possible. So this video is specifically for you guys, and even anybody later in the future, this video applies to everybody. In as much as you want to come to Canada as a student, this video is perfectly for you. So I'll be explaining one step after the other the documents that you will need and every necessary step you need to take for you to be able to submit your Canadian study visa application. So stay tuned while I show you exactly how you can do this. Thank you. Yeah, welcome back guys. So here we're going to talk about validating your letter of acceptance from your DLI. So what does DLI mean? DLI means designated learning institution. Designated learning institutions are those schools where international students are allowed to study in Canada. So if you don't apply to a school that is on the DLI list, the visa officer is not going to issue you a study permit, even if you get every other thing correct. So that is one of the things you should do even before applying to your school. Look for a school on the DLI list before you even think of applying or paying any admission fee or whatever. So let's say you've applied to this school now and you've been granted admission. Fine, congratulations to you. Then now, because of the new rules from the Canadian government, you have to validate your acceptance letter. And for you to validate your acceptance letter, you have to do this on the IRCC portal. So here are just the steps that you need to take to be able to validate your acceptance letter from your school. So it's not something that is very, very hard to do. You just need to sign into your IRCC portal, as that is just step one. Then when you do this, ordinarily when you sign into your IRCC portal, it sends you a code. Then you need to validate that code through your registered email address. Then you need to read the IRCC portal terms and conditions. All you just need to do is click accept. The letter is just probably about some lines, obviously. Then once you have accepted that, you go to the home page. Just follow all of these things that are here. It says you download an Excel file for letter of acceptance to be validated. Then input every necessary thing that you need to input. Then submit it. Just follow all of this. Because of our time, I won't be able to read all this stuff that is here. I'm trying to keep this video as short as possible and concise. So I'll be dropping the link to this instruction in the description box below. So you can go ahead and read this and follow the instructions that are there. So once you've done this, I think at the end of it, it says it's going to take about 5 days for the IRCC, the immigration officers, to be able to verify your admission letter. So once they've done this, that is when you can now go ahead and apply for your study permit. So now, days have passed and then you've already received your message or letter, whatsoever it is, from the Canadian immigration that your letter of acceptance has been validated. Now you want to open an account on the Canadian immigration website. All you need to do is just go to your browser, preferably use a laptop, not a phone, use a laptop. Go to your browser and just type in canada.ca like this. Open it. Then you click on whichever language it is that you are most comfortable with. For me, it's English. Then I scroll down to immigration and citizenship. So here, basically, it talks about almost anything that you can do in Canada. All you just need to do is click on the reason why you are coming to this website. So for those who are coming to study, you can see here under immigration and citizenship that is where the word study is. For those who also want to visit or come to work or immigrate or become refugees or whatsoever, immigration and citizenship, you click on this link, then you scroll down. You are going to see it's now splitted into the different sections, but the first thing you want to do is to be able to have an IRCC secure account. So you click on my application here, then you scroll down again, you are going to see sign in to create an IRCC secure account. You click on this, then just right here, you are going to see sign in with GC key, username and password, or a Canadian Interact signing partner. This has nothing to do with you except you already have an IRCC account. So what you need to do is you come here, click on create an account, register for a new account. So once you come here, you follow the prompt. But basically, for those who are not in Canada right now, all you need to use is this option 1. So you see the GCQ rather, username and password, register with this. So you are going to use your email address, follow all the prompts that are there until you're able to open or have your own IRCC secure account. After you have already opened your account on the IRCC website, what is left for you to do is to submit or start an application. So at this point, you've already logged into your IRCC account, which means you've already gotten the go-ahead by the IRCC that your letter of acceptance has been validated, and you can now go ahead to apply for your study permit. So when you log into the IRCC website with your username and password, you should see something like this that says you should continue an application you haven't submitted or start an application, something like that. So you click on apply to come to Canada. Then you have to check this personal checklist. It says, do you have a personal reference code? Since most of you or most of everybody who will be doing this for the first time don't have this, all you need to do is come down to I do not have a personal reference code. Then you click on why you are actually on this website. Is it for a visiting visa or a study permit or a work permit, or you want to apply for an express entry or an international experience Canada? So since we are applying for a study permit, we click on this first link. Then let's see what it's going to be. So it says you find out if you are eligible to apply. So you need to answer all of these questions here. It's like a questionnaire that you need to answer rather. So the first question here says, what would you like to do in Canada? Open this, is to come study. How long are you planning to stay in Canada? So for the sake of this video, let's say somebody is coming here to study for just 1 year. How long are you planning to study in Canada? You can see temporarily less than 6 months, temporarily more than 6 months. So you click on temporarily more than 6 months. Select the code that matches the one on your passport. So which country are you from? That is what it's asking you to do. Then, because I'm Nigerian, I will look for Nigeria. This. What is your current country or territory of residence? So let's say you're applying from Nigeria now, as most people watching this video will actually be applying from Nigeria. You click on Nigeria as well. Do you have a family member who is a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident? For the sake of this video, let's say you have none. No. What is your date of birth? So hypothetically, let's say this person was born in the year 2000 in the month of January and on the first day. You click on next. Are you a lawful permanent resident of the United States with a valid US citizenship and immigration service number? No. If you have, you can click on yes. Have you been accepted to a designated learning institution? Yes. What is your marital status? So assuming this person is single, which province would you want to visit or something like that? So let's say you'll be coming to Ontario. So it says you may be eligible to come to Canada as a student. So now let's continue. So do you have a valid work permit or a study permit and need a visa to return to Canada? No. Are you an exchange student? Blah, blah, whatsoever. No, you are not an exchange student. Is work an essential component of your studies? So this is one thing that I want people to know here. There are some courses you come to do in Canada, it comes with what is called a co-op. Like after studying for about a year or a year and a half, you need about additional 3 or 4 months to kind of go do the practical training of everything that you've been doing in a real environment. So let's say you are coming here to study something like engineering or artificial intelligence. Most of these courses come with a co-op, and then you would have to be attached to a particular company where you are going to apply everything that you've studied in class in the real world. So if your letter of acceptance or the course in which you are coming to study in Canada says you have to do a co-op, it means that by the time you want to apply for a visa like this, either you collect a letter from your school that says that working is an essential part of your studies, because they are going to ask for that kind of letter later on, or you just submit your letter of acceptance. So here, let's say for the sake of this video, work is not an essential part of your studies. You click on no. Nobody's coming with you to Canada. No. Are you a recipient of a scholarship, whatever? No, you are paying the fees yourself. So click on next. Are you accompanying a family member that has status in Canada? No. No. Assuming the person is a law-abiding citizen back in Nigeria or anywhere else? No. Have you had a medical exam performed? So for this, there are 2 ways to go about it. Let's say after you got your study permit, you decided to go do your medicals first before even applying for visa. So if you've done your medical, here you can decide to click on yes. If not, you have not done your medicals, just click on no. So let's say this person has not done their medicals, you click on no, continue. Have you visited or lived in any? If you've not traveled out of Nigeria before, here is basically no. Do you want to submit an application for a family member? No. Are you giving access to someone? No. So basically, one of the reasons why I'm actually doing this video is to teach everybody to be able to apply for a Canadian visa themselves. So you don't need to ask an agent or anybody to be able to apply for a Canadian study visa or a study permit. So for this, you are saying no as well. For the past 10 years, have you given your fingerprint and biometrics? No. Except if you've tried to come to Canada before, probably as a visitor or any other way, then they must have collected or have your biometrics one way or the other. So if you've done that, here you have to click on yes. But for the sake of this video, this person is applying to Canada for the first time. So I'm clicking on no. The fees associated, who is going to be paying? Yes, you'll be paying your application fees. Then click on next. It's asking if you can make a digital copy of your document. Yes. Will you be paying your application fee online? Yes, you are paying it online. So here you are going to make a review of everything that you've entered. If there's anything that needs to be changed, you can change it here before you apply. So looking at all of this, now let's go back to the beginning. What would you like to do in Canada is to study temporarily more than 6 months. So all of this stuff, you've entered the correct information. So now let's scroll down and click on continue. So here it says on this screen you'll be asked to upload your document for your application. So basically all this, I don't know, I don't read it most times, but I just scroll down to click on continue. So now this is the page where you are going to make all the uploads of all the documents that is needed. So basically this is the first one, the application form itself, and every other thing are supporting documents. So for you to be able to use this IRCC website to be able to fill this form, you need Adobe Reader. The latest version of Adobe Reader is what you need. So I'll tell you how to do it now. You are going to download the app itself. the Adobe Reader app on your laptop, then you must also download the Adobe Reader extension on your Chrome. If you don't do these two things, you will not be able to use or fill this application form, because while you are clicking this now, it's going to open in a new window. For example, let's just try it out. So I clicked on this, it's opening a new window. So let's hold on for it to open. So this is what you are going to see. It's going to tell you that please wait. If this message is not eventually replaced by proper content in your document, your PDF viewer may not be able to display this type of document. So if you have the latest version of Adobe Reader on your laptop, all you need to do is just click on desktop. It is going to open the file for you. So now, hoping that you've already been able to open this file on your laptop. So this is what the file looks like exactly, an application for study permit made outside of Canada. Since you're applying from a country like Nigeria or somewhere in Africa or anywhere else in the world, and as much as it's not from inside of Canada. So here, you are going to start answering this form, and I think it's about 5 pages. Yes, 5 pages. So here, you're going to start from here. You want the service in English. Type in your full name. So let's say, hypothetically, as we started earlier, the surname is Jason. Then the given name on the passport is John. Have you ever used a nickname before? Let's say no. What's the sex, the gender, male, date of birth? Hypothetically, let's say 2000, month, January, day, 1st of January. Place of birth, let's say Elisha. In the country, Nigeria, apparently. Citizenship also is Nigeria. So the country of residence. So let's say as a Nigerian, you are presently living somewhere else. You are not in Nigeria while you are applying for this form, or probably you had to work somewhere or something else. You are going to put in the present place where you are. But for the sake of this video, let's say the person is in Nigeria. You are going to put in your Nigerian address. So you look for Nigeria. Your status in Nigeria, you are a citizen. Previous countries or countries you've been to. So let's say this person has never traveled out of Nigeria before. You've never been to anywhere. The country or territory where you're applying from, is it the same as your current country or temporary residence? Yes. What is your marital status? Your marital status here is single. Then you scroll down to the next page. Have you been previously married or in a common law relationship? No. So what languages do you speak? So let's say this person speaks Yoruba. Now let's find Yoruba in this language list here if we're going to see anything like that. There are a lot of Nigerian languages in this place, so a lot of languages. So yes, so this is Yoruba. Are you able to communicate in English or in French? English. So your passport number. Your passport number, so let's say hypothetically is B200000564, and it was issued to you by Nigeria. So you click on Nigeria here. Issue date, let's say it's January of 2023. It's going to expire in 5 years. Let's say 2028, December 31st. So do you have a national identity document? Simply click on no. As a Nigerian, just click on no. But if you are applying from other countries and you have things like this, you can decide to put it in. If you have a USPR card, please answer all of this accordingly. but just click on no for the sake of this. So here they're asking for your contact information, your address and stuff like that. So let's say this person presently lives in Lagos. So let's put number 27 Bega Express Street, in Lagos. Then country or territory, Nigeria. Your residential address, is it the same as your mailing address? Yes. So now that we are done with this page, we'll move on to the next page. So here it's asking for your phone number. If it's a Canadian phone number, US phone number, you have to put it. But since you're applying from Nigeria, you click on order, click the type of phone number you have. Is your cellular phone, your country code. Our country code in Nigeria is 234. Then let's just put in a random phone number. So this is the normal way. It starts from 080. You move the first 0, then input 80, then 23. So this is just a random phone number. Then all these other ones are not needed. So for email address, let's say it's jasonjohn@gmail.com. So the name of the school. So randomly, okay, let me just pick a random school. Let's say the name of the school is Fanshawe College. Fanshawe College. Then your level of study is college. Okay, let me see again. Diploma rather. Your field of study, just pick anything. Just for the sake of this, let's just pick computing and IT. Then complete address of the school. The school is first of all in Ontario. That's the province where Fanshawe College is. And it's in the city of London in Ontario. I'm looking for London in this list. So for the address, let me put any address. Let me put any address in this. So let me say it's number 45 London Street. All of these are hypothetical. And for designated learning institution, by the time you get your letter of acceptance should come with this designated learning institution number. So you should have it. So I just copied one from somewhere and I decided to paste here. So that is the number. If you have your student ID as well, if you've been given, add it. So for the sake of this video, let's say this person wants to come to Canada in September, wants to start studying from September of 2024, and it's just a 1-year program. So if you start September 2024, you're definitely going to be finishing your program sometimes around, let's say, June or July. Let's just pick August 2025. August of 2025, pick the last date. So the cost of my tuition will be, so let's say hypothetically, the person's school fees is 20,000 Canadian dollars. So you add 20,000 here. Funds available for your stay in Canada. Probably you have it all planned out. You have your tuition fee. Then here is talking basically about the addition of all the funds together. The money you need for your living expenses and your tuition. So let's say you have roughly about 50,000 Canadian dollars. So if you remove the 20,000 Canadian dollars for your tuition, you are still going to be left with 30,000 for your living expenses. So here it's asking who is going to pay your expenses in Canada. So let's say if it's yourself, you click on yourself. If it's your parent, you click on your parent. If it's going to be paid by someone else, you click on who the person is. So if you click on order, here you have to type it in. So these are for those who probably are having somebody who is sponsoring them that is not their parent, probably their uncles, their aunties, the companies they work for, or anything, you need to specify who the person is or who they are in this place. So for the sake of this video, let's just say you are the one paying it yourself. So here is asking about your education. Have you been to any post-secondary education, including university, college, or any apprentice training? So if after you finish secondary school, you've gone to a polytechnic in Nigeria, you've gone to university and you graduated, whatsoever, you have to do this. Click on yes. Then it's going to ask you to input the details of the school. So hypothetically, I'll be filling this part now. So let's say this person went to Unilag, so to say, between 2013 and 2017. So the person started sometime in September and finished in May. All of these are hypothetical. Field of study, computer science. School name, University of Lagos. Where? Lagos. Country or territory, you click on Nigeria again. Then if you have worked somewhere before over the past 10 years, you need to input your employment as well. So hypothetically, let's say this guy has been working as IT technician for, let's say, for the past 6 years. I don't know, any number of years, just let's input something. Let's say this person started this work, graduated 2017, then started this work 2018. Sometimes in 2018, let's say around January. So the name of the company he works for, let's say the name of the company he works for is MacBean. I'm just putting any name in Lagos. In Nigeria. So that is it for the employment. If you have any other previous occupation, you have to input it, the date and everything. So I'm leaving this space blank because that is the current occupation of this person. So that's why I'm leaving this place blank. So if you have a previous occupation, you need to input it. You worked from so year, month to this particular year or month. You have to input all of that. Then now the background information. Here is going to ask you that within the past 2 years, just read all of this and answer accordingly. So for the sake of this person, I'll be clicking no, all true. No. So I'm trying to see if there's any other thing I left that I did not answer. Okay, so after answering all of this, move to the last page. Do you consent to being contacted by the CIC? Here you click on yes. Here, just click on the date in which you filled the form, December 15. Then click on validate to see if you did not leave anything. So here it's telling me that I left one part that I did not answer, so I have to go back to it. I click on OK, then it has brought me directly to this page. So have you taken a test from a designated testing agency to assess your proficiency in English or French? So if you've done IELTS, you can click on yes. If you have not, just click on no. So there's a validate button up as well. Just click on it again to see if there's any other mistake. Now it says validation completed successfully. So the moment you click on OK, you don't need to sign this here because there's going to be a way you will sign this directly on the website. So all you need to do is just come up here. You see this button that looks like a memory card. You click on it. It will ask you to save the document. Then you save it. Then when you've done that, you go directly to your IRCC website to upload the document directly. So I'll be showing you how to upload the document as well in this video. You've already filled the form, the first form now. So I'm going to show you how you are going to upload your document. So all the while when you are filling that form, I'm pretty sure because of security reasons, the immigration website will have closed. So you have to log in again, and after logging in, it brings you back to this same page where you have to upload your document. So this was what we filled before. Then you click on the upload file. When you click on the upload file, you click on choose file. Then you look for the file where you saved it on your laptop. Then you click on upload file. When you click on upload file, you should see something like return to document. By the time you see return to document, you click on it. It brings you back to this same page. But however, this place where you see details not provided is going to change and tell you that you've submitted this form here, but has not been submitted to IRCC. So you do the same thing for every other supporting document. So let me explain what these other supporting documents are. So just as the name implies, here is your passport. You're going to snap your passport, the biodata page. Then if you have any other page, probably you've traveled out of the country before, every places you've traveled to, all the pages that have been stamped, you need to snap it and make everything to be one file. Then upload it as well. Then the letter of acceptance from your school, you have to upload it. Your proof or means of financial support. Now, this is where most people used to have issues. So here, what can you use as proof or means of financial support? So, which means bank statement for the past 4 months. It's not compulsory that it must be a bank statement, a bank that is very, very active, But even if it's a bank account whereby you are just saving money and stuff like that, there's still no problem. Just make sure that you have the amount of money that is needed for your stay in Canada. So if you are studying for 1 year, money that is needed for the entire 1 year must be there, which means your living expenses and your school fees must be in that bank account. Then secondly, if you have land, these are proof of asset. You need to snap the document and upload it as part of your means of financial support. If you have a house or if you are working, receipt from the amount of money you earn, these are things that you can use as a means of financial support. If somebody is sponsoring you, you can ask that person to write you an affidavit, signed and stamped, so you can upload it as well, that this person is actually sponsoring your education in Canada. So that is just what your means of financial support or proof of fund is. Then your digital photo. So you need to go and snap a passport normally. The normal wait and get 2 minutes passport, as we call it back home in Nigeria. But there's a specific size for it. So if you are having issues understanding what all these things are, you can see this question mark here. If you click on it, it's going to explain to you what you actually need in this document. So this last one is family information. So it's not something that is hard. The same way you fill the first form is how you're going to fill it. It's going to ask for the date of birth and address of all your siblings. So if you have 5 siblings, you must put it there. Then the date of birth of your father and your mother. If you are married, you put that of your wife as well and your children. Then this as well is for applications for temporary residents. Now, as we are seeing, it is optional document. Well, they said it is optional, but make it compulsory. So you fill this form as well. Then this client information is basically, since Canada does not do interview, this is where you explain exactly what you are going to do in Canada and every other thing that is associated with your application. So I'll be doing a separate video about what this letter should contain in 2024. So once you are done, you've uploaded all the file, do not leave anything here without uploading something to it. You must upload something, the correct document. And for every document you upload in this client information, you should be able to explain each one of them. So here are the fees in which you are going to pay. For your study permit itself is 150 Canadian dollars. Then for your biometrics fee, it's just $85. So if you live in Nigeria, you would either, depending on your address, you would either go to Lagos or to Abuja to go do your biometrics. That is where they're going to take your fingerprint, take your picture, your eyes and everything. Then you submit. Once you've uploaded all the files, there's going to be somewhat like a submit button down here that you are going to click on, and you make this payment. So in recent times, I've seen that many people from Nigeria are always having difficulties making this payment. So what they do is they reach out to people who are not in Nigeria to help them make this payment. So if you have people who are not in Nigeria presently, they can help you make the payment while you send their money to them. So that is all about applying for study permit in Canada for 2024. So I know we are still in 2023. I'm recording this video in 2023. But then, even if there's going to be any change to everything you've seen just now, it's just going to be minor. But I've explained to you 95% of what is needed for you to be able to apply for your study permit. So there's something else I almost forgot to talk about. So that is the fact that the Canadian government have two portals to actually submit an application for a study permit. So this one I showed you is the first portal, the original portal that they've always been using prior to the COVID in 2020. But then after COVID or during COVID, they created another portal very similar to this, belongs to the same Canadian government, but the way it asks its own questions is not exactly the same thing. So you have to fill in most of the form, then just upload the document later somewhere else and all. Then from research, I learned that that particular portal seems to be faster than this. I am not so sure about it, but that's what I've seen many people say, that it's faster than this old one, because most people who applied for their study permits from there probably got it maybe like 6 weeks after or something. So another thing that you need to do if you want to apply for a study permit is you go ahead and book your medicals beforehand. So if you book your medicals beforehand, they won't tell you to go and do your medicals. They will just send you a reply whether they've already accepted your application and granted you a permit to go study in Canada or not. However, if you did not book your medicals beforehand, probably you are afraid that you may waste money in case you are not given and you've paid a lot of things and stuff like that. You wait till the IRCC people tell you to go and do your medicals. The moment you see that message to go and do your medicals, it means 95% you've been granted your study permit. Alright, welcome back. Thank you guys for staying through my video while I'm able to show you exactly how you can apply for a Canadian study permit. So I would like if you can share this video with many others, people who are really interested and don't know how to go about it. So instead of them to go give that money to an agent who is going to just collect money from them and do something as simple as this, let them go ahead and do it by themselves. There's no need to be afraid of anything. You can make mistake, but don't, since you've not submitted, you can always come back to this video to watch and see exactly what I did before you go ahead and submit your own study permit application. So please share this video with others, and then don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel as well. And wait for more amazing content that are coming your way, as I'll be dishing out a lot of videos this December and early next year for those who are really interested in moving to Canada. Thank you so much for staying tuned.